off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Happy with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon here out of the UBN Go studios in Burbank, California, and then every Monday at 6 on my syndicated CNBC, NBC News Radio channel, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and anytime, all the time on iHeartRadio. And this is a show about hope and happiness. So there is no gossip, no scandal, and no K-words, no Kardashian talk at all. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time, because that's your birthright. And 8 is a lucky number in Chinese, for those of you who thought I was Swedish. So double 8 means it's double good fortune. And that's why we have this show, and that's why I have this forum to get you to be a little bit happier. So if you missed any of the fabulous guests that I've had who talk about happiness and gratitude and all of that good stuff, we've had Corey Feldman, Layla Ali, Marianne Williamson, to Marianne from Gilligan's Island. So all of those you can get on my free subscribe YouTube channel. So make sure you go and get that today. And I am currently just posting to make sure everybody is going to be here. And we have a little bit of a hiccup, which is Anson's publicist did confirm last night, so hopefully he's safe traveling in. So we're just going to hold his seat open for him. And I'm going to usually I do this at the end of the show. So we're going to sort of do a little flexible maneuver here. And we'll talk about the Heimlich maneuver soon. But we're just going to go ahead and do some of the things that I was going to talk about at the end of the show for the balance bar. So the first thing actually is I would like you to take a look at this and tell me what you think. It's that little sizzle reel that just got put together. And I want to know what you think about it, because it's talking about happiness, and see what you think.
If I had $100,000 in the bank, I'd be happy. Then it was 500,000, then it was $1 million, then it's 10 million. Now 10 million's not enough. I'll be happy when I finish school. I'll be happy when my parents are okay. I'll be happy when my kids are okay. I'll be happy when. Anybody? So when are you going to be happy?
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
For the next 8 years, it's my mission to have 8 million more people 88% happy. We're human beings. We cannot be happy
all the time.
Mm-hmm. But 8 is a lucky number. I know you thought I was Swedish, but I'm actually Chinese. And so double 8 is 88%, is double good fortune, which is our birthright to be happy 88% of the time.
If there is one thing that somebody can change today to make their life happier and their outlook happier, what is that one small thing that somebody can do?
So if your mind continues going to places that are dark, and something or someone did something to you that was horrible, that's 7 out of 10 of us, the majority. So it's not what happened to you, it's what happened for you.
And focus on that.
Exactly. So pain in life is mandatory. Suffering is optional. So I can choose to look at that pain as something that chiseled me into greater good. So Phoenix Rising, that's my middle name in Chinese, so that's what I would say.
One of my teachers is Michael Bernard Beckwith, and he's a very good friend of Oprah's, introduced me to Oprah as this is the Asian Oprah. And I'm like, and she looked at me, and she looked down, she looked at me, smiled, and said, nice pants.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy. That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Spirituality and knowing who I am and whose I am was very important.
Okay.
Knowing that I am a precious child of a friendly universe, and of a God that conspires for me, never against me. That was the seed.
That's a good one.
A seed that began to supplant that voice, because we all have, especially children who have had damage, have a voice that says, you shouldn't have said this, you shouldn't have said that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you really are ugly. People compliment you, but they don't really know you.
It's about you. You have to begin to strengthen the beautiful part of you. You are one of a kind, amazing. 7.3 billion people on this planet, every single one different, like the grains of sand, like the leaves on the trees, like the drops of water in the ocean. We are all amazingly unique. Every single one of us have unique gifts, talents, and abilities to share, not because we're doing good necessarily, because it makes us feel good. Don't you feel good when you know you're making a difference? Yes, and you do make a difference in a way that only you can make a difference. There's nothing like this life. I don't know what's after. I don't know where we came from. I do know this is here. I know the present is a present because it's a gift, and you want to open it.
So, what do you think? You can go ahead and put it on any kind of forum and let me know what you think of that. I think most of you know I'm on a Happy 88 mission, which is 88% happy people, 8 million more of them in the next 8 years. And so that was put together to help with that. And so if you know of any organizations or any groups that would like more happiness splattered on them, please do let them know for me. And I just heard it's a 2-hour drive for Anson Williams to get here. And he was confirmed last night, so he's on the road, and I'm sure he's getting here. And we're just going to roll, and he'll be here soon. Dr. Mary asked for a call-in number, so I'm going to give you a call-in number if you have questions for him. It's 323-524-2599. That's 323-524-2599. And also, if you'd like to call in and comment right now, I got a text. He's less than 4 minutes away. So he'll be here soon, and shift does happen. So we're good. But I do have 2 Asian Oprah giveaways that I'm going to do now instead of at the end. So if you are needing a good laugh, and my favorite saying about laughing is you do not stop laughing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop laughing. And so if you want to laugh with me, I have 2 free tickets to an amazing comedian. I don't think I've met him in person, but I plan to on Friday. This is at the Saban Theater. I have 2 tickets to the Sinbad show. And for those of you who remember Star Search, it seems like a long time ago, Star Search, he beat out Dennis Miller, and he also had his own show and all kinds of fun stuff. So Friday night, Saban Theater, one of my show sponsors, is going to highlight Sinbad, and we get to laugh with him. So if you would like those 2 tickets, the Asian Oprah giveaway offer today is to go to drmarissa.life, which is my virtual home, and put in the your email, and then Sinbad. And the first 2 to do that will get those tickets. The air supply tickets at the Cerritos Performing Arts Center are gone to lucky listeners Tanya and her group. So, but Sinbad's open, and I will have tickets for Amy Grant coming up, as well as a tango show, as well as possibly Dionne Warwick. So keep it tuned here to this show. I also am going to do my balance bar now, so we can save it for not having it at the end. My little Tinkerbell, where I invite you to balance with me, and these are all the places that you get to come. So if you're in Florida right now, please do join me. I'm going to be speaking at two places. The first one is a doctor's convention, and you can't go to that, but you can go to the Unwrap Your Best You, and it's a wonderful women's conference in Cocoa Beach, and that is April. I wrote it down here somewhere. It is April the 9th. Nope, it's April the 3rd to 5th. So go to Eventbrite and look for Unwrap Your Best Conference, Unwrap Your Best You Conference, and that is April 3rd to 5th. And then in Hawaii, I hope I have listeners and fan base there on the beautiful island of Oahu. I will be speaking there for a very important conference. It's an annual one called the IVAC Conference, Institute for Violence, Abuse, and Trauma. And for those of you who don't know, my book, 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are, is not written as a psychologist telling you how to be happy. I'm writing about the fact that I'm one of the 7 out of 10 of us who have been through childhood trauma. And many of you know that story. I won't give away the book, but the book has exercises and chapters to deal with if you've been hurt in the past, whatever the trauma is, and you feel like you're not good enough, or you feel like you're unworthy, or you feel like you're never going to get ahead, or you feel like you're broken and you can't get fixed. That's 7 out of 10 of us, the majority. Why is it that past pain has to lead to present suffering? It does not. So I encourage you to get the book and come to the book signing. I will be speaking at I'm one of the opening speakers for the Institute for Violence, Abuse, and Trauma. It's a great conference over on the Oahu Island, and that is on April 14th through 17th. And then on the 19th, I'll be the guest speaker at Unity Windward. So the topic is, if you're happy, let your face know, also known as, are you 88% happy? So this is a shout out to all my future friends in both Florida and Hawaii. And a peace in, peace out shout out to 2 new people that I met last week at the Saban Theater. One is the amazing singer, Michael Bolton. Those of you who, I didn't cue myself to be able to sing. Actually, I was hoping Anson would be here. Remind me, because he's got a great voice. He helped do some caroling the last time he was here in 2017. But we'll pick something to sing from Michael Bolton. But he sang and serenaded his, I thought maybe they were back together. I actually asked her, Nicolette Sheridan. He sang to her in the audience, and it was kind of surprising to see her. There's one shot, a black and white shot right before that, where he's actually serenading her in the audience. And I said to my friend beside me, is that Nicolette Sheridan? Are they back together? So I actually got to ask her afterwards, and she said no, they will always love each other, but Reunited is not one of the songs they're singing. So peace in, peace out. And we're talking with Michael Bolton's team right now to see if we can have him on here as well. So let's see. I did that. And then every Monday, and we're getting more and more hundreds tuning in for my Monday is the New Friday podcast, which is a direct Facebook podcast that I'm doing for almost a year now. And it's wonderful to connect with people regularly at 10 a.m. every Monday. I don't know what day it is, every Monday at 10 a.m. And we talk about the topic at hand. We've talked about the coronavirus. We've talked about it's Women's History Month or Women's History Day, International Women's Day, how women get in the way of happiness was the last one. So if you would like to tune in to that, you get to chime in, and we have a little bit more of a dialogue than we do here at this show. Okay. And then finally, on Saturdays, when I'm not traveling, it's Power Chi or Balanced Tai Chi Gong, which is a moving meditation that promotes inner peace, one breath at a time. And it's an amazing practice, especially for those of you who have trouble meditating and you can't sit still for meditating, then this is absolutely the practice for you. And that's every Saturday at 10, not every Saturday, but most Saturdays at 10 a.m. And then we're going to... We're going to be doing that moving medication on the sand. And as you can guess, as you can see, someone just burst into my studio who had to drive a couple of hours because he loves me
All right. First of all, I'm driving from Ojai, and it's like I don't know. It's not like Italy where there's no one on the streets right now. It's like there's everyone on the streets. I'm going, don't you know there's coronavirus? Why are you out here?
Here,
I gotta get to. Give me a hug. You look great. Come here.
This is my buddy.
And then I'll tell you something else. Gave me the wrong room to come into. It's not 250.
Fixed that.
It's not 255.
Harlan, I called him specifically yesterday to fix that. And he said he did, but it doesn't matter. You're here.
Shall I show you the...
I know it is. Do you want me to show you the email that told him to fix it?
No, it's okay. But I went in there and finally, it's all worked out. The other people next door hate my guts. I mean, I'm going, I'm here. They go, get out. God knows what they're filming. God knows what they're filming over there. But I barged in.
I love you.
I love you too. So,
Anson, okay, here's the formal introduction, and then
because I'm very formal. I'm a formal person.
Just because, in case you didn't know who this is, I know everybody knows who you are, but we're gonna sing first to get them primed. Ready? Monday, you lead.
What song is that?
Oh.
Monday, Tuesday.
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. I don't remember it. I don't. You know what's funny about it? I never sang it. It's like I sang on the show all the time.
Right.
And then they changed the theme, right? And then we're doing the kind of the opening credits.
Yeah.
And they said, and it was like what they do is pickups after the show.
Yeah, yeah.
They go, listen, just go up there and just mouth it. That way we don't have to do a whole thing in the studio.
Yeah.
So I basically, I mouthed the other guy. That's the only time on the show in history, first time ever told, I did not sing that.
You heard it here first because
maybe that'll go viral.
It's possible.
Oh my God! The opening credits of Happy Days. He didn't sing it.
Oh my God!
Criminal.
It is criminal. So here's your formal. You just take it in because this is all about you. Ready? Take a breath.
Oh God! I'm just.
My guest today is Mr. Anson Williams. He's a celebrated and respected director as well as recognized philanthropist. Say that fast. Philanthropist and businessman. Williams was recently honored by the Congress, the California State Senate, the City of LA, and the LAPD. This Happy Days
I wasn't
star,
arrested, I swear.
Anson Williams, with the support of his Happy Days cast and numerous other celebrity colleagues, has been joined by first responders across the country to raise awareness right now about the 4 driving Ds: distracted, drugged, drunk, and drowsy driving, the latter of which is currently leading the list of casualties. You knew about that if you saw him here in studio December 2017. So that's why he's here.
That's all I have to say.
You want more?
There's so much more.
I know.
No, it's fine. It's enough. It's more than enough.
So
no one's that special.
So you are special though, because if you saw, how many of you saw? No, I'm kidding. The last show, you're like one of the few normal people that came out of Hollywood, or normal in, normal out is what I call it.
Is that what you call normal in, normal out?
Yeah.
Okay.
And do you remember what you said? Why? I asked you why that happened, and you said, "This is a test to see if you remember."
I failed because I don't remember exactly what I said. Yeah.
You had great role
but
models.
there's not a one sentence.
Right.
It's I don't know. Sometimes it's just a circumstance in terms. I grew up in a very lower middle class household, and but during a time in this country where it was pretty fair. It was the 50s when I grew up, and back then, no one was rich, but everyone had their health insurance. Everyone had a car. You could work 40 hours a week, and everyone had a house, and not a big one, but everyone had. And there was not a lot of pressure, just in terms of your lifestyle.
Right.
And we didn't have a lot of money, so at a very young age, anything I wanted, I had earned. So I started working, and I actually made my first money at 9 years old.
Wow.
Figuring out how to make it, and created my own printing company at 12 years old, and so on. And so I was, you made your own roads.
Right.
And it wasn't an easy life, but there were your basics of life, and you learn to depend on yourself, and you learn to work hard, and I don't know, that was part of it. And then I had just had this incredible push inside of me. I wish more people I'm sure, Doctor, you understand that push to move forward.
Yeah.
And don't define it too much.
Well, it's people say, well, this generation, or the times have changed, and people, their hopelessness, and people are, don't care anymore. They don't want to try. Do you buy into that?
No.
Or do you?
No.
Okay.
No. I buy into it because I kind of think some part of our brain we've invented the computer, and we
put a man on the moon. We fly in the sky.
We compartmentalize. It's amazing what we can think and execute.
Right.
Well, you are what you think. You are what you hear.
Right.
And we're just bombarded with negativity. We're bombarded with confusion. We're bombarded with right news, bad news. It's just so much, too much.
Right.
And there's not a lot of inspiration out there. There just isn't.
Yeah.
It's so fragmented.
Yeah.
And you're seeing the result of it.
Yes.
And you're also seeing the result of years of underlying anger. It's really you start with the internet, and first with the reality programming years ago, of just this negativity, not really reality, like the Jerry Springers or this or that.
And then the whole reality.
But it's always there's too much about the worst of human nature, not the best human nature.
Amen. Yeah, absolutely.
And we're light and we're dark in ourselves. We do. We all have light and dark.
Yep.
So what do you? It's easier to sell the dark, a lot harder to sell the light. Yeah. And the conscience and the character of business has changed drastically, way more for profit than any caring about effect. And the cause and effect, we're seeing it now. And it goes beyond politics.
Right.
And getting back to your question about, millennials now and young, and we don't, they don't have it because they haven't been exposed to it, and they're disconnected from who they are. So the fire's out.
Yeah, the light's out. The light in the eye and the light in the heart, and it's our job. Right?
Yeah.
You're doing so let's go, which way should we go? Let's go. Well, I think part of the people who haven't kind of know you as I do about how you got into even that role in Happy Days, and sort of how, your relationships with the Fonz and with Marion and Ron Howard. So maybe like a little synopsis of what it was like doing the 6 seasons of Happy Days, and maybe things that people don't know about that whole time.
Well, it's very interesting. As a kid, just being a number in the world, like pretty much, you should never feel, by the way, like a number in the world, ever. But you fight that. But at the time, I felt like a number in the world.
Yeah.
And
Did you know you wanted to be an actor?
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't. I just always. Well, I knew I wanted. I just knew I wanted to be creative. I knew I wanted to communicate things. I didn't know if it was acting, writing, direct. I just knew there's just a push to like move forward.
Right.
And I ended up in the acting, and which was fun. I had a comedic talent and all this, but I didn't have a long-term acting talent. If you get up to De Niro and Pacino, or Leonardo DiCaprio, that's a whole other level of talent, a whole other level, and you got to go, and you have to respect that and go, wow, they're born for that, and I was born to go to a certain point of that, but then I went behind the camera and writing, and there I don't feel limited. I feel like absolutely free and like limitless, but it took acting to get there. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but as far as acting, getting the job at Happy Days was crazy. Talk about divine intervention. There were 2 pilots. Most people don't know that.
Okay.
And the first pilot, I got this call to audition for the show Happy Days. I knew nothing about it. And I had this little funky car, like hand-to-mouth existence as an actor. Literally, not starving, but not gaining weight.
How old were you?
I was, at that time, the first pilot, I was 21 or 22.
Okay.
I can't remember. And so it was like today. It was like pouring, just a torrential rainfall. And there weren't cell phones like today. There weren't, there was nothing easy if you get stuck.
Right.
So I got stuck. I'm on the way to the audition, and my car just stops. And it's pouring rain. And I have to, like, find a payphone, right? And then I had to, like, beg for a quarter or a nickel. I didn't have the change. I couldn't even, I'm literally begging for money to make the phone call, to the auto club. Oh. And so then I wait 2 hours more, forever for the auto club.
Right.
And they come. And thank God they could get the car started. Literally, by that time, I was 3 or 4 hours late to the audition. Okay. And I'm thinking, I'm just going home.
Yeah.
I said, this is crazy. And whatever, an audition.
Yeah.
I had no idea how important an audition.
Yeah.
That it was the last day of casting, and they had no character. They had not cast this part. I had no idea.
Okay.
They were wardrobing the next day, and filming the next day.
Wow.
It was the last minute.
Right.
So there was a push inside me saying, no, do it. Mm-hmm. So I drive to Paramount Studios, and the guy looks through the list now because it was like a few pages back. Mm-hmm. I go in, I park. I go into Millie Gussie's office, or her reception area that everyone sat. She was the head of television casting for Paramount.
Wow.
And she was this kind of nice short lady with a cigarette and a gruff voice. Anyway, I go in there. I go to the secretary, receptionist. I say, my name. I'm sorry. My car broke down. She goes, and she just screams out, Anson Williams is here. And I hear from behind a door, thank God, he's lucky we didn't cast Potsie yet. I go, what's a Potsie? So...
Now, what credits had you had at this point? Were you
a lot of credit?
Okay,
but always the concerned boyfriend, the high school boyfriend.
Okay.
Totally opposite the
So
character.
okay.
I was always like the kind of all-American kind of kid.
Yeah.
So, and I had a little comedy experience. I did the Pauline Show, which was a 3-camera show. Okay. Played her daughter's boyfriend for a few episodes of that. And that. So I had comedy and variety. Yeah. But by that point, but I also had a lot of stage experience.
Yeah.
A lot of musical theater. So I had, I paid my dues.
Yeah.
So
you're not an overnight success.
Not at all. So I said, get in. She goes, get in here. So I go, come in. She goes, here. You need time, or can you I read this? Let me just look it over. I look it over, and it was like pages from the script.
Right.
And I thought of Howie Schertzman, my friend. I said, oh, this is Howie. So we sat there, and she read, and she goes, and head of casting, she didn't read too well, but I did my best. And she goes, wait outside. I wait outside. So I wait outside. She goes, then I hear on the phone, I don't care if he's in wardrobe. Get him on the phone. And he goes, he's perfect.
Oh.
Get down here. He's perfect. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. What the? So I'm waiting there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, and it's still raining.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, here comes this disheveled, kind of Italian-looking man walking in. It's Gary Marshall.
Yeah, yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And he just walks in, and she goes, okay. And she goes, a few minutes later, come on in here. And Gary says, hi, I'm Gary Marshall. I hear you're pretty good, and I'm going, so I want you to read. So I read it again. He goes, do you play baseball? I go, is it in the script? No. Do you play baseball? I said, well, I did. I was in the Little League All-Star game. He goes, you were in the Little League All-Star game? Are you good at softball? I go, yeah. And he goes, wait outside. Because he's putting together a ball team at the same time, right?
Geez.
So I wait outside. Now I'm waiting forever. Now I'm getting upset.
Right.
What am I still doing here?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, these people in suits come walking in.
Yeah.
Not realizing it's the network.
Oh.
And then I'm waiting. All of a sudden, Ron Howard walks in.
Yeah.
Who I never met.
Oh.
And he goes, hi. I go, I guess we're reading together. We are? Yeah. So.
Now, was he an actor at the time? He was.
Well, Ron was already a super television star with Opie.
Oh, okay.
Let alone starring in The Music Man, let alone starring in how many, no, he was like a major.
So the answer is yes.
The answer is pretty much, yeah. Pretty famous guy. So I'm sitting there going, oh, crap. So we go in, and we read together. And then they go, and they're laughing, the suits. I have no way. They're laughing. And then they go, well, thank you very much. So I'm saying, excuse me, thank you very much. And after all screw that. You too, thank you very much. Yeah. And I get in my car, thank God it started, and go home.
Yeah.
Pissed off. What a waste of time. So back then, no cell phones, no this. There was an answering machine that you had to rewind to get to your messages.
A little flashing light.
Huh?
I'm just giving away my age here.
Yeah. So there's a little and I hit there going, where are you? Been trying to call you, but you got the part.
Your
so
agent.
Yeah. So I called. I go, what? So I got the part. So the next morning, they do the contract that night, which trust me wasn't much, and I go to wardrobe fitting and I shoot the next day.
Wow. And then 6 years later.
No, and then it didn't sell.
What?
And then that pilot, Ron Howard was in it, Marion Ross was in it, I was in it.
Yeah.
There was no Fonzie, no Ralphie, different Joni, different Mr. C. And we went. It was a much softer show.
Okay.
And we went through it, and
it didn't sell.
And it was great. And it didn't sell. Went up back to playing boyfriend roles. So, and they aired it on Love American Style to get their money back. Right. That was it. So a year later, American Graffiti comes out, Grease on Broadway. Gee, didn't we do a pilot? Gee, maybe. And so I'm doing Lisa Bright and Dark with Kay Lenz, playing her boyfriend up there by San Francisco, and they're picking up another pilot. Great. Well, you have to screen test with Ron this time. Why? They think you might be too old. Both of you. What? Got audition for this? So yeah. So and what's funny, and what I didn't realize till years later, for the first pilot, I saved John Travolta's career because he'd been playing Doogie in I think it was called Doogie Dewey from Grease, right? And it's kind of the nerdy kind of kid. Yeah. That's what John's playing. And they bring him in to read for Potsie, and I got it. I saved his little career. Could you imagine if he'd have gotten that part? Can you imagine? I mean, he owes me big time. If he'd have gotten that part, forget Cotter, forget being hip and hot, he would be screwed.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And he went on to become a big movie, as deserved, and beautiful man.
I got to interview him on the red carpet,
great guy.
Yeah,
just a wonderful
he is a great guy.
And a phenomenal actor. But I did save his ass by getting the part.
That is super funny.
So anyway, we got the parts again. Ron and I, cut to the chase.
Yeah.
In fact, Donnie actually screen tested for my role, and blah, 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 and Robbie Benson. But they loved Donnie so much they created Ralph for him.
Wow.
That's so cool.
And then
Fonzie was this little 6-line character.
Wow.
And then he exploded. He came,
Right.
and they said, "Are you jealous of Henry Winkler? Are you jealous of Potsie?" I go, "Are you kidding? He bought me a house."
Right.
Are you crazy? Go, baby. I'm hanging on.
Yeah.
Because you're like making my life
Well,
great.
and this is why you're amazing and why I enjoy you so much is because you really are humble. You're like one of the most humble Hollywood types, and I appreciate you. So there.
Well, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate you too.
Absolutely. And
we-
we're just a little bit over on the sponsor spot, so I'm
Go
gonna
for it.
just break for 2 and 2. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace, and thank the sponsors who make this show possible. Stay here. We'll be right back on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get happy with Dr. Marissa. Dr. Marissa here. Ready to drive a car that was designed with you in mind? Using patented technology, Mazda is focused on creating a human-centric vehicle, and Capistrano Mazda is ready to put you in the driver's seat. Family-owned and operated Capistrano Mazda gives you a mileage guarantee. When you buy your new Mazda, you become part of their family. So visit capomazda.com today like I did, and now I can't stop smiling with my fabulous new Mazda MX-5.
Yikes.
Want a night out of iconic music and stars? Well, the beautiful Saban Theater in Beverly Hills is where you can laugh with the award-winning comedian Sinbad, enjoy a conversation with the ageless Carol Burnett, and enjoy the amazing Dionne Warwick. For tickets to the classic, the exciting, and the memorable, go to www.wheremusicmeetsthesoul.com. And stay tuned for more Asian Oprah giveaway tickets right here on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get happy with Dr. Marissa. And I already announced 2 tickets to Sinbad this Friday night, March the 13th, Friday the 13th. So first 2 to go to drmarissa.life will get those tickets. And thank you so much, Saban Theater, for the support as well as...
And Sinbad is awesome. I've met him through the years. He is awesome.
Is
Everyone
he?
goes see him.
Yeah?
He's like just amazingly talented, and what a kind man.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. I have not met him. So I offered a soundbite, so maybe you can put a good word for it. Maybe he'll come here. Maybe you guys will do a show together. Because you're a comedian.
I would love to.
You know that, right?
I'm what?
You're a comedian. Like, you really... I would say you're more of a comedian than an actor.
Well, I'm not. I've never done
talent
stand up.
to do that.
Yeah, I'm just kind of spontaneous with
Yeah.
what's I like more conversation with an audience.
Yeah.
And I do love that.
Yeah.
I love like
You're very funny.
I love, but also love inspiring.
Yeah.
Finding
And
the best
speaking
in
of
people.
Speaking of which, so you have this great acting, directing, producing, and are you bored? Is that why we went to do the alert drops? Or, oh, wait, I didn't know this.
Uh-oh.
You had a near fatal accident.
I did, but just to backtrack
Okay.
as far as no, never boring. It's just you're the same. You do 82 different things. Things get.
88.
I'm sorry, 88. I thought it was 86. I'm sorry. God, no ego here. Anyway,
Peripherally located.
Anyway,
Let go of my ego.
Yeah, let go of your. That's a good show. Let go of my ego.
There you are.
That's
yeah. It
we
could be
gotta-
our new show.
That could be a new show.
Yeah.
Let go of my ego.
ego.
That's a half hour. No one would listen. Anyway, because they love their egos. No, but stuff. Anyway, I've always been entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
It just selling things, figuring out how to
9
sell
years old.
something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All through and not in a bad, just creative way, right?
yeah.
It's just in part of me. Part of me. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So, but years ago, through circumstance, and I knew nothing about it, I got in the product business, and learned the hard way, making a lot of mistakes, but really becoming pretty proficient at creating products and manufacturing and getting it done and distributing.
What was a mistake? Just one that didn't work out.
Just not being educated. My financial mistakes.
Which product was a mistake? Was there one that you can talk about?
Oh, I can tell one.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right on the money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're doing Happy Days, and I got the rights to the Happy Days cafes.
Yeah.
And Al Molinaro and I became partners on, and anyway, we went through this whole process. Cut to the chase. met someone with Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola puts together performers if they like it, as long as you use Coca-Cola in the business, blah blah blah. And they set us up with the number one fast food consultant in the world. I won't say his name.
Okay.
And
McDonald.
And came in. No, a man, a guy, and he comes in, and it was all to get investors.
Yeah.
And then he convinced Al and I. He said, first of all, we changed it from. He says, actually, I had the idea. Why are we doing Happy Days Cafe when we can do Big Al's with his face and everything, and not pay the percentage
to Happy Days?
So we changed it to Big Al's with Al's face, and he said, "This is too good, guys. We should." And this guy owned lots and lots of franchise restaurants himself.
Okay.
A whole, I mean, very, very. It was a real learning experience about don't believe in hype or presentation.
Right,
Go deeper with anybody.
Right.
And this is decades ago.
Okay.
So he says, guys, my office is in Overland Park, Kansas, and and this big mall down below. And the whole idea was we're going to do all fresh, nothing frozen, Big Al's in malls that don't have McDonald's and all that. So we're an original, we're specific, and we're special. Yeah. Almost like In-N-Out at the time. But In-N-Out wasn't as big back then.
Right.
So he says, let's finance it ourselves. Come on, guys. Let's do it. Just the three of us. All right. Fantastic. So we put, and boy, boom, success. Boys, the bank's willing to finance 9 more. We don't have to put anything. They're gonna just roll the dice for this. Unbelievable. 9 more at once. And we go to the mall convention. Of course, at the mall convention, you've got to get your units and all that.
Yeah.
And you got to go on personally for the lease.
Oh.
So
sorry.
Boom. 10 more. 10 more. Boom. 10 more.
Yeah.
I'm going. Now, we haven't seen a dime, by the way.
Right.
Not a penny.
Everything's going back in.
Yeah, we thought. So, and then he goes, boys, it's franchise time. Let's do, boom, 10 franchises. Now we have people depending on us, right?
Right.
So now 20 restaurants in just maybe over a year, and we're going, oh my God. Yeah. And we're sitting there not knowing the business, not knowing squat, only like depending on this guy. And all of a sudden, we get these notices. Your blah blah filed for bankruptcy, so now you're on. You have to
put up your house or whatever.
You have to now pay all these things off.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So basically, this guy went, and it was. Thank God we came out with our houses and all that, but it was a huge business learning experience.
It was not a happy day.
Oh, and with all these people and all these franchises and all these.
But
it was a PhD in business.
Yeah.
And that and it never happened again.
Absolutely.
So, but from that went through and we were on a lot of success. We're on QVC for a decade on many different products, and being in the product business and the entertainment business. Years before, like you were saying, I was directing a show. It was an exhausting day. I'm driving back home, and everything went blank. I fell asleep at the wheel. And thank God I didn't kill anybody or kill myself, but it scared me. And my uncle's Dr. Heimlich.
I know.
And the Heimlich maneuver.
Maneuver.
Yeah.
Just in case you missed that.
Just not an important guy in life at all.
No.
I mean, how about, would you rather be a movie star for your legacy, or would you rather be someone who's saving a life every day because you lived?
Yeah.
Let me think what I want to be. I'll take that over Clark Gable.
Maneuver.
Yeah, I would take that over Clark Gable.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
So, So anyway, he said, Anson, just bite into lemons. He says, if that ever happens again, because he was a guru of how the body helps the body, he said, bite into lemons, citric acid, sour lemon will hit the lingual nerve on top of your tongue, and your reflex reaction of the body is adrenaline. You're up, you're alert, just like going to the doctors when they have their little rubber mallets testing your reflexes.
Yeah.
He said the sensory connection of tongue and brain and the reflex action is adrenaline. It's like, boom, you're up, body waking the body. So I did that for years.
Wow.
And then decades
you had a
later,
lemon in hand, like you brought a lemon.
I would cut them up.
Okay.
Yeah. And even today, I say, if you don't want alert drops, have cut up lemons. Alert drops are a lot easier.
Yeah.
Well, and it goes beyond drowsy driving now, doctor.
Yes.
So
tell me.
So anyway,
we have 4 minutes.
We have 4 minutes.
Yes.
I can see your eyes. Your eyes are going like. I'm so used to this. Like back, I'm like, oh God, I love you, but we're on a time crunch here, and I got support. Very quickly, guys. So we it's because I was late. So
but I love you.
So and deservedly, but anyway, I thought, why can't we put sour lemon, citric acid, everything together in a little spray called Alert Drop, spray it on your tongue. I called Dr. Heimlich. He said, my God, that will be more powerful than a lemon. It's a direct hit. You'll save more lives than the maneuver. More people are driving drowsy than choking. So he created Alert Drops. If people go to alertdrops.com, it can save your life. Anyone with drowsy out there, natural, nothing in your system. And now we found out it's gone further to college students that are taking too much caffeine and all this energy phony crap that they're overdosing on while they're studying and sending them to the hospital. They take Alert Drops. Sports teams are taking Alert Drops instead of all these sports. Construction sites using Alert Drops. Anyone that needs to be alert instantly and safely, they get alertdrops.com. So go to alertdrops.com. And this isn't a push. This is for your life.
No.
This is your friend's life. This is important. Just in drowsy driving, it's just the number of deaths is just under like guns. It's like more deaths, more fatalities than drunk driving and medicated driving combined.
That was the statistic that shocked me last time. Because with all that we hear about drunk driving, I just figured that was the number one.
Not even close. Not even close.
Right.
Number one.
Right.
Not even close.
Right.
And today, there are almost 200 million drowsy drivers a year. Do you hear that, folks? Almost 200 million. 1 out of 5 admits to falling asleep. So you know there's more. Figure out the fatalities, the tragedies, the injuries.
Right.
I mean, there's no
that
reason your son won't.
That
this
are avoidable.
In our crazy world right now,
right.
where a lot of us feel we have no control of anything, we have control of this, and it's so easy to stop. You don't need a shot, you don't need a vaccine.
Right.
You
Right.
just need to be able to instantly wake up, get off the highway, and get home safe.
And I just love how you're doing this because you care. You're doing this because you know that this is going to help save lives. And for that, I'm going to give you again Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award. You forgot that I gave it to you last time. Just say you forgot.
Two is like amazing.
It is. There's nobody that has to.
Really?
I don't think. Anybody on the show. I'll have to go back and look.
Oh my gosh!
But I don't think so.
Actually, I just felt. I felt adrenaline from that.
Did you? Good.
Yeah, it woke me up.
Good. So, my last question always is, who or what are you most grateful to or for? And I think I asked you that 3 years ago, but you can change your answer. I didn't go back and look at it, but gratitude is, especially in this environment where there's so much negativity and there's so much fear, and fear stands for future events already ruined or forgetting everything is all right. So with that, I want you to,
kind of elaborate on that.
For? Yeah. No, what are you grateful for? I mean, where do you go when you hear something horrible has happened or a tragedy or whatever? Where do you go? What keeps you light, positive?
I mean, when unnecessary tragedies happen, I mean, it tears me apart because at the same time, it motivates me to do something positive. So when I try to switch it by putting my mind and my energy into something positive that's contributing instead of just, just wallowing in it.
Right.
And I always say keep moving forward, keep climbing the mountain. When a negative happens, go to a positive. It's that heals and that moves you forward.
Yeah.
It's like living in it will destroy you. So
coronavirus, what positive can people go to?
Well, that's interesting because it's
that's
I'm really angry about it too, just because the way the whole thing came here, and I mean there's so many things you can say as far as preventative before we're here. But right now, obviously, fear will kill you. Stop with the fear. Really, stop with the fear. Yes, there's a virus. There's the flu virus. Yes, people die. Yes, cause and effect of immune systems and all that. Stop with the fear. Start being proactive. Our bodies can handle a lot, a hell of a lot. And your mindset and where you are in your mind has a lot to do with your immune system. So basically, you hear that? Go to a positive place, improve your immune system. Don't be stupid and go to areas where you're vulnerable. If you know you have asthma, if you know you have chronic conditions, if you know, stay the heck away from crowds. I mean, it's practical. It's not Godzilla coming to eat up the planet.
Yeah.
But the media does that. They scare the hell out of you.
Weapon of mass distraction.
They just, and it's, and yes, there's a virus.
Yes.
And yes, it's more contagious than the flu. Most of the time, less problems than the flu. But yes, because of maybe we don't have the immunities in our system yet or whatever. Yeah. But the more scared you are, the immune system's going to go down. And if you think something's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Yep.
So just be practical. And by the way, you don't need hand sanitizers, folks. Just get 70 proof alcohol, put in a little sprayer and put on your hands and you're fine. So don't get caught up in all this buying up 82 things. Don't buy these masks that aren't the 95, 98 because it goes through the mask. All that does is stop you from touching your face.
Yes.
Just be practical, pragmatic, positive, move forward, and just be responsible. You'll be fine.
This is Anson Williams, also known as Potsie, also known as the founder of alertdrops.com. Thank you so much for coming to the studio. Do this with me. It's all about balance. Look at your camera. It's all about balance. That's your camera. Peace in.
Peace in.
Peace out.
Peace out.
World peace.
World peace.
Through inner peace.
Through inner peace.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get happy with Dr. Marissa.